Your cat loves you. You know that. So why do they keep biting the hand that feeds them? Here's the truth. Every bite has a specific reason, and by the end of this video, you'll finally understand what your cat is really trying to tell you. Because the way you've been responding might be exactly why it keeps happening. Let's break down each reason, one by one. Reason 1. When you're petting them and they snap. Why does your cat act like they absolutely love you one second, and then punish you without warning the very next? You're petting them. Everything feels completely calm and perfect, and suddenly out of nowhere, bite. It feels like a personal betrayal, like they flipped a switch you never even knew existed. But here's the truth. Your cat didn't snap randomly. You simply missed the exact moment they asked you to stop. Every cat carries a sensory limit for physical contact, and every single cat's limit is completely different from the next. What feels like a relaxing, loving session to you can slowly build into something genuinely overwhelming for their nervous system. A twitching tail tip, ears shifting back just slightly, a body that quietly tenses under your hand even though they haven't moved an inch. Those aren't comfort signs. Those are final warnings, and the bite comes right after. But missing those warning signs is just one way owners make things worse. The next reason your cat bites, you actually created it yourself, and you did it every single time you thought you were just having fun. Reason 2. They think your hand is a target. Why does your cat hunt your hand like it's prey, even when you were just innocently trying to play with them? You wiggle your fingers, they pounce, you laugh. It's adorable at first, until one day that bite actually breaks skin, and suddenly it's not funny anymore. Here's what nobody ever tells you. You didn't just play with your cat during those early sessions. You systematically trained them to attack you. When kittens are developing, their brain locks onto whatever moves, wiggles, and reacts as a hunting target. If that thing has always been your hand, the wiring becomes permanent faster than you'd believe. And when you pull your hand away quickly after a bite, to your cat, that movement looks exactly like fleeing prey. You're not correcting anything. You're making the hunt more exciting with every single reaction. The behavior gets stronger each time you respond that way. Now that one's about what you accidentally taught them. But this next bite type is completely different. And when you find out what it really means, you might feel guilty for every time you pulled away. Reason 3. It's actually them. Saying, "I love you." What if the gentlest bite your cat ever gave you was actually the most deeply loving thing they've ever done for you? Some bites aren't warnings. They aren't pain responses or fear reactions or frustrated boundary setting. They are pure, unfiltered affection. Your cat literally saying you are my person with the only tools they have available. When kittens bond with each other, they use soft, gentle nips as a core part of the grooming and closeness ritual. It's how they express trust and deep connection within their social group from the very beginning. So, when your adult cat nibbles softly on your finger, body completely relaxed, eyes half closed, purring steadily, they are not treating you like a human they tolerate. They are treating you like their most trusted family. The single worst mistake you can make when this happens? Pulling away or scolding them. You'd be rejecting the only "I love you" they know how to say. That bite comes from love. But the next one comes from something far more confusing. Your cat snaps at you and then immediately wants you closer. Same cat, same moment. Two completely opposite signals at once. Reason 5. They're overstimulated but still want you close. Why would your cat bite you and then immediately rub their face against your hand like absolutely nothing happened? It makes zero logical sense from the outside. One second they're snapping, the next they're headbutting you and demanding more attention like the bite never occurred. Here's what's genuinely happening inside their body in that moment. Your cat hit their stimulation limit completely, but emotionally they have not decided to leave you. They're caught in a real internal conflict between, "This is too much for my system," and "But I don't want you to go away." This specific reaction is called redirected overstimulation, and it's one of the most consistently misread signals in all of cat behavior. Their nervous system is genuinely overloaded and desperately needs a reset. The bite was simply a pressure release, not a rejection of you personally. Give them 60 seconds of pure stillness. Don't speak, don't react, just pause completely. Watch them settle right back into you. That was about what's happening inside your cat. But this next bite, it has nothing to do with you at all, and you still end up bleeding for it. Reason 6. They're redirecting frustration onto you. Has your cat ever bitten you out of nowhere, right after staring intensely at something outside the window? You weren't even involved. You just walked past at the wrong moment, and suddenly you're the one bleeding. This is redirected aggression, and it's one of the most dangerous bite types because it arrives with absolutely zero warning directed at you personally. Your cat locks onto a threat outside, a stray cat, a bird, a squirrel, and their body floods with adrenaline and hunting chemicals instantly. They can't reach the real target. The glass is in the way, so whoever is physically closest becomes the outlet for everything their body just charged up. You didn't trigger it, you simply absorbed it. The fix is simple but critical. Never approach a cat that's locked and staring at something outside. Wait until their entire body visibly relaxes before you get close. That bite came from something your cat saw. But the next reason is about something they felt, the moment you walked into the room, before you touched them, before you said a word. Reason 7. They're telling you. They own that spot. Why does your cat bite you the moment you try to move them, even when you're being completely gentle about it? You're not being rough, you're barely making contact. But the second you try shifting them off the couch, out of your chair, or away from that one corner of the bed, the teeth come out immediately. Here's the truth most owners never consider. Your cat didn't bite because of how you moved them. They bit because in their mind, you just violated claimed territory without permission. Cats mark spaces with their scent, their body heat, and their consistent presence. That spot isn't just comfortable to them, it legally belongs to them in their world. And you just challenge that ownership without any negotiation. Next time, skip the lifting entirely. Toss a treat away from the spot first. They'll move themselves, and nobody loses face. That was about space. But this next one is about something invisible, something you carry in without realizing it. And your cat reads it before you've done anything wrong at all. Reason 8. They're reacting to your energy, not your actions. Did you know your cat can bite you simply because of the mood you walked into the room with, before you even touched them once? It sounds strange, but cats are among the most emotionally sensitive creatures living alongside humans. They're constantly reading your heart rate, your breathing rhythm, the micro-tension in your muscles, the pace of your movements. Your cat isn't just watching what you do, they're scanning what you feel. When you walk in stressed, overwhelmed, or silently angry, your body is broadcasting a signal their nervous system can't ignore. A cat, already running on edge, needs almost nothing to tip into a defensive bite. You didn't make a wrong move in that moment, but your body was speaking a language they heard loud and clearly. The solution isn't better behavior around your cat, it's calming yourself first, then walking through that door. That was one moment your cat misread, but the next reason has been repeating for weeks, maybe months, and every single time your cat was sending the exact same message. You just didn't know how to hear it. Reason 9. They're communicating a boundary. You keep crossing. What if your cat has been trying to tell you the exact same thing for months, and you've been accidentally ignoring it every single time? Cats are remarkably consistent communicators. When they bite you in the same situation repeatedly, same location on their body, same time of day, same specific trigger, that is not random aggression happening over and over. That is a boundary being communicated with increasing urgency because the message keeps getting missed. Maybe it's their belly, maybe it's being picked up after a certain hour, maybe it's that one particular spot on the couch. Most owners treat these repeat bites as fresh surprises every time they happen. But your cat already told you last week, and the week before that, the bite was never the problem. The repeated boundary crossing is. Start actually tracking when and where it happens. The pattern will genuinely shock you. That bite was a warning you kept missing. But this next one, you didn't just miss it, you built it every single day without knowing it was happening. Reason 10. They bite because you taught them it works. Here's the uncomfortable truth that most cat owners are not ready to hear. What if your cat bites you repeatedly because you personally trained them to do exactly that? Not intentionally, not consciously, but every single time your cat bit you and you immediately stopped what you were doing, gave them space, changed your behavior, or left the room, you sent them one crystal clear message. Biting produces results. It changes what happens next. It works. Cats are significantly faster learners than most people give them credit for. If biting has consistently and reliably produced the outcome they wanted, space, attention, stopping something uncomfortable, their brain has permanently filed it as the single most efficient communication tool in their entire toolkit. You didn't accidentally create an aggressive cat. You created something far more specific, a cat that learned exactly and precisely how to manage you. I saved the most important one for last, because this final reason reframes everything, every bite, every snap, every moment you thought your cat was pushing you away. What it actually means will completely change how you see your cat forever. Reason 11. The bite that means they finally trust you. What if the fact that your cat bites you at all is actually proof of something genuinely beautiful happening between you? Cats that are truly shut down, deeply traumatized, or completely without trust don't bite. They vanish. They hide under beds for days. They go completely silent and entirely unreachable no matter what you try. A cat that still bites you is a cat that remains engaged, still communicating, still believing that what they feel is worth expressing to you specifically. The biting is not the opposite of trust. In so many cases, it is quiet evidence of it growing. They feel safe enough with you to have a reaction, safe enough to say too much or I'm scared or please stop. A cat that has completely given up on being understood by someone stops trying to communicate entirely. Yours hasn't stopped, and that means everything. Now, I have one question for you, and I want you to be completely honest in the comments. Has your cat ever bitten you, and you had absolutely no idea what they were trying to tell you? Drop the number that matches your situation right now. Drop 1 if your cat bites during petting and you always thought they just turned mean. Drop 2 if your cat ever bit you out of nowhere and you still don't know why. Drop 3 if your cat gives you love bites and you used to pull away every single time. And drop 4 if you just realized, while watching this video, that you accidentally taught your cat to bite you. No judgment. Every single one of us has been there. The comments are open. Be honest.